Trusteer, we stand for protecting fraud in online banking. And we do that with having a platform really consisting out of 3 layers. One layer is protecting malware and phishing on the endpoint. So a user of an online banking application with accessing it via a Mac or PC is protected from malware and phishing by having a little piece of software sitting on the endpoint that really acts like a security layer, like a blanket, avoiding that malware is being kept on the endpoint and phishing is happening on the endpoint as well. So the second layer is really a server solution, really connecting only with the banking application itself, where at the point in time an end user, an online banking user logs on, the banking application actually gets a little message where we collect some data from the person that logs in, and we can tell you as the bank and in the online banking application that now somebody or enters the online application with having malware on their endpoint. So with 100% accuracy, we can tell you that about a fraudulent transaction could happen because malware is involved at that point in time. So on the server side, we are able to really warn about malware detection so that you can act on, as well as giving awareness of if an account takeover happens with stolen credentials. So the third layer is really how it all plays together, where something like a fraudulent action happens, you can build it into your fraud process. It can be an email alert that activity is happening. It can be built into your business rules or in your risk engine, where you now have really accurate data that malware and fraud is going to appear. Now, with having endpoint protection, having the banking application protection, we also do this on the mobile side. Of course, from an online banking application, it could be mobile at any point in time, but the third layer is really having a SDK which allows you to build a mobile application that is securely protected, including all the credentials and working with your online banking application hand in hand. So I think the benefits are multifold. The most important benefit is that we have a solution that prevents the root cause of malware. We detect if a malware end user of yours, a online banking client, comes with malware accessing your online application, as well as having some means to take the malware off the endpoint so that it won't happen again. But not only that, with that you prevent a fraudulent transaction to happen, but without the client or the end user really noticing it. So the experience the end user has is seamless. Because the last thing you want is you want to introduce a lot of risk levels, a lot of threatening to your end users that something bad is happening to them. You want their experience to be as natural as possible and still avoid that a malware attack happens. So the first benefit is it's seamless to the end user. The second benefit is if you avoid the problem before it appears, you don't need all these people and headcount sitting there to do prevention after the fact, which is a lot more cumbersome, a lot more expensive to do that. Thirdly, you have the opportunity that you apply or you have a protection for regulations. So there's lots of regulations coming on, especially in Europe, about privacy rules, fraud protection rules. You have a layer, you have like an insurance that what you do with fraud. And fourthly, you just protect your brand. The last thing you want is a press article or an interview where you talk about your brand name exposed to fraud and your name stands for fraud. So we protect you before.
How many banks have already adopted the trusted platform?
Yeah, so we have more than 400 banks. It's like the 7 biggest US banks, 9 of the 10 biggest UK banks. In Japan, the top 4 banks use it. Worldwide, more than 400 banks. And with that, we really collect information from more than 100 million endpoints where fraud happens. So if somewhere a new attack vector comes up, be it in Brazil, be it in Europe, be it in the US, we know about it. We have a cloud solution. So as soon as we are aware of it, we have the ability to feed that intelligence into everybody's users. So more than 100 million endpoints, more than 400 customers, some of the biggest banks, and even the smallest bank can benefit from it because we provide the solution to everybody.